Community Viewpoint with John Pollock and Maria Hurst.
We're back. Thank you for staying tuned to Community Viewpoint. John Pollock, your usual host, is at Burning Man today. So I'm Vickie Parker, and I'm John. And this is Marilyn Maddox Dolan, who is here to tell us all about the rodeo. And I think we need to start with the history of the rodeo.
Well, I prefer just to be referred to as Marilyn Dolan. My late husband was Bill Maddox, and he was the chairman for the Fall Festival Rodeo for many years. But in 2002, the Harvest Festival did the last rodeo and Fall Festival they were going to do. And they had sent out letters early in the year to all the vendors and everybody who was involved with it. So Reed Williams was the carnival guy, and he contacted my late husband, Bill, at the time, because they actually were distant cousins. So he called him up and he said, "What's going on here?" And that's when Bill went to the town board and said, "We need to save this. This is the one big event that we have every year." So that's why the town picked it up at the time. And that was 10 years ago. So it's kind of funny how things repeat itself. So the town picked it up, and we did the Fall Festival and the PRCA Rodeo for, well, up until 2009 when PAVE took it over. And it's just kind of ironic that, 10 years ago was the last one, and here we are 10 years later picking it up again. So that's kind of where we're at with that.
I understand you were on vacation in Colorado when the call came through.
Yes, we were on vacation, and Vern Van Winkle from Channel 46 called my husband Bill Dolan on the phone and said, "Gosh, we really need Marilyn to come and do the rodeo. Would you ask her?" And he turned around and looked at me, and I went, and he said, "Yeah, she'll do it." So that's why I'm here. And it's not really work. It's just something I've done for so many years in Colorado. Prior to coming here 18 years ago to Pahrump, we were involved with a lot of horse shows and clinics and different events. So after doing the rodeo for 7 years, it's just
you're back in the saddle again,
so to speak.
But tell me about this year's rodeo.
Well, we have the same stock contractor as last year. This is not a PRCA rodeo. This is a Rocky Mountain Professional Rodeo Association rodeo. It's a smaller association. I think the cowboys are probably just as good as some of the PRCA cowboys are, but it's expensive to follow the PRCA, and you've got to be really super tops and follow it constantly. And so this will be a good group. It's a group out of Utah that locals can come and
try their hand.
Compete. Yes, they can.
If they wanted to compete, how do they go about that?
Well, I would say call Robert Tibbetts, who's my right-hand man. He's the arena director, but I don't happen to have his phone number with me. So I will just say, call me, and the home number is 727-9098, and I will put you in touch with who can get you in there. So, we're just going to have a lot of fun. With this short a time, we don't have a specialty act. We'll still have the clown. We do have our local drill team, which is pretty awesome. They're pretty good. So looking forward to seeing them perform. I know that Aletta's worked real hard on getting that team together and getting them going. They'll also be our flag carriers. So we've got a lot of flags this year for them to carry, and it'll be great to watch them running through the arena with those flags for the grand entry.
What events do you have scheduled?
Everybody always asks me that, and you need to understand when you work the rodeo, you don't get to see the rodeo. So I'm not real good on that, so I've written them down. We'll have bull riding, and from what I understand, last year we had 2 rounds of bull riding. We had so many bull riders, which is great. We'll have some saddle bronc riders, some bareback riders, calf roping, which I believe they call tie-down roping now, some steer wrestling, a lot of team roping, some barrel racing, and a lot of our local girls will probably be in the barrel racing.
If this is going to be a long rodeo, then, with all those events.
Well, rodeos usually last about 2 hours. So, you can just count on having a lot of stuff going on for about 2 hours.
How many tickets do you have available for sale?
Our grandstand only seats about 1,500 people comfortably. So we put out 1,500 tickets, and as you can see on the screen, it's $10 each night. We've brought the price down. A lot of people have said we need to bring rodeo back, so let's bring rodeo back and support it. Everybody buy a ticket. If you don't want to stand in line at the gate, they will be available at the gate, but if you don't want to stand in that long line, then you can buy them ahead of time at Shadow Mountain Feed, at the Pahrump Chamber, the town of Pahrump, and we've tried something new this year. We've put it over to Wally Services, which is the U-Haul dealer, over on Vickie and Mance. So if you live on the south end, you don't want to drive all the way up to get a ticket, stop by and see Wally.
What time does the rodeo start?
Well, the rodeo actually starts at 7:30, but the gate will open at 6:30.
And you get better seats.
The earlier you get there.
So if you buy your tickets in advance and you're there at 6:30, you're going to get the choice seats.
That's right. You're absolutely right. So,
now, I understand that we also have something going on Sunday.
Yes, Sunday there is a professional women's barrel race, I believe it is, and it will be, it starts at noon. They'll have some exhibition runs prior to that, but it is free to the public. So please come and let's support our local group. It's the National Western Heritage Association that is putting it on, and that is the group, or the Nevada Western Heritage Association putting it on, and they are the group that's trying to bring back the PRCA rodeo. So
maybe next year.
You can go and support them by screaming and yelling for your favorite horse and rider. So, and that will be at noon, starting at noon on Sunday.
I think that's wonderful that we'll have a free event.
Yes.
For those that unable to make it in the evenings, or they're off busy riding the rides, or
listen to that great entertainment Rodney was talking about.
Awesome.
When you work the rodeo, that's something you don't get to do, is go over and see the entertainment and enjoy all that part. So if you're not a rodeo person, be sure and go over and listen to all that great entertainment he's talking about over there in the park.
Well, you'd be able to do both.
Well, not at 7 o'clock.
Not at the same time. Pick your nights, right?
Yes, exactly. There'll be a lot going on. I can't believe how many vendors they're putting in the park already. That is just awesome.
Let me ask you a question. If I were to bring children with me, do I have to buy tickets for children?
If they're not small enough to sit on your seat during the entire performance, you will have to buy a ticket. Picking this up at the last minute, some things always get dropped. And when we got excited about offering tickets for $10, you can't go see a rodeo anywhere for $10. So we kind of forgot about people coming with small children. But if they're small enough to sit on your lap, that's fine. So probably 5 and under.
Well, you have lowered the price.
Yes.
Considerably.
Yes.
To make it family friendly.
Yeah, this was the price we used to give to seniors and veterans. So you bet. It's a good deal.
Now, again, when you buy your tickets, buy an extra ticket.
That's a great idea. Now, here's the thing with that, Vicki, is that when the kids come to the rodeo, we need to have a parent able to come with them. And kids always need to be supervised. So the more tickets we have available that people have donated, I know my husband Bill Dolan the other night at the town board meeting bought 10 tickets in the honor of my late husband, Bill Maddox, and I was just really honored that he did that, yes. And but we need enough tickets so that when the kids come, they can bring a parent with them, and that's allowed, okay? We want that to happen. So we need plenty of tickets bought for those kids and their parents to come with them.
Yeah, they're going to be distributed probably by a lottery. And the children it's going to be off of a predetermined list, or actually a list of children who have been predetermined to be in need. This is the list that they use for Goody Two-Shoes and the Food for Thought, these groups. So
the Rotary toy giveaway and
yes, you can't call the station and say, "How do I get on the list?"
Right. And we do want the parents to come. At least one parent it could be with a small group of children or whatever, but we don't want young kids in there not being supervised.
How about teenagers?
Yeah, teenagers. I'd say 11, 12-year-old kids will be fine, but
not
and
the
older.
little ones.
But the little ones will need to have an adult with them.
I understand that.
Yeah, you don't want to put a little guy in a crowd of 1,500 people with nobody with them. So
no, I wouldn't do that either.
I wouldn't. So
this is going to be so exciting, though, to have the rodeo, a real rodeo, and where are those tickets available again, so you don't have to stand in a long line?
Well, they are available at the town. The town office has them. Shadow Mountain Feed has them. They're up at Leslie and Bella Vista. To think there for a minute. You just drive these places so much, you don't know. So, and then we put them down at, did I say the chamber already? Okay.
Wally's U-Haul?
They're at Wally's U-Haul, which is down at Mance and Vickie Ann. And it's actually called Wally Services, but I figured nobody would know who that is. So the U-Haul on Vickie Ann is at Vickie Ann and Mance. He has tickets down there as well.
And the tickets are available now?
Yes, they are. They definitely are. And I should add that the Pahrump Valley Times actually donated the actual tickets and our posters that we have. So
thank you, Pahrump Valley Times.
Yes.
While we're mentioning that, there has been a lot of donations by the community to get this festival done at the last minute.
Yeah. A lot of sponsors have stepped up, even though there's not going to be, they won't get an advertisement in print. They've stepped up and given us money to go ahead and get this stuff going, and that's. Unfortunately, it takes money, especially with the rodeo. It's not like an entertainer who can pick up his guitar and go wherever he wants to at will. You've got a lot of livestock there, and it costs money to feed them, the trucks to drive them here. So, and unfortunately, that's the situation. But,
buy your tickets. Because $10 is it. You can't have an evening entertainment for $10.
No. And if we even sell 2/3 of the seats that we have available, we will pay for the rodeo. So
you'll all need to come out, get your rodeo tickets, get your carnival tickets, buy extra tickets for children in need. Come see the entertainment, the carnival, the rodeo.
And the tiger, I'm so surprised.
Yes, thank you, Carl Mitchell.
Yes, if he brings Rashid.
And thank you all for joining us this evening. See you at the Fall Festival.